The story starts at a boxing gym where MMA athletes are training. Octavio Bergman, with his professional trainers Kosa and Bruno, is getting ready to compete against his rival, Ko, in a significant MMA title match. However, the match was initially scheduled for 2 p.m. but got delayed multiple times because Ko kept pushing back the match time. Finally, Paul Lemon, Octavio's manager and the gym owner, got confirmation from the MMA organizers that Octavio's match would happen officially at 5 p.m. Before heading to the venue, Octavio called his daughter Leone because it was her birthday. Leone was really hoping her father could be with her on her special day because Octavio had promised to bring a birthday cake and a special gift. Unfortunately, Octavio wasn't able to keep his promise and arrive on time due to the match delays and postponements. Kosa walked into the room and inquired with Paul about her overdue payment. 5 months back, Paul had assured her of a salary increase, yet Kosa had not seen any change in her pay for the past 5 months. Seeking assistance, Kosa requested Octavio to discuss the matter with Paul as her direct communication with him had only resulted in unfulfilled promises. Subsequently, the three of them headed to the stadium. During their journey, Octavio's mind dwelled on his son's birthday, feeling inadequate as a father to Leone for being unable to be present at her birthday celebration. Attempting to offer some solace, Paul mentioned that individuals who became parents at 19 often had difficulties in their relationships with their former partners. He advised Octavio to concentrate on his upcoming match and strive for victory so that he could reunite with his daughter soon. Upon reaching the stadium, they crossed paths unexpectedly with Chino and his brother Winkler in the hallway. Winkler served as Octavio's promoter for his upcoming bout against Ko. As they made their way, Octavio caught sight of Ko emerging from a room, which seemed to affect him mentally. Chino offered words of encouragement to boost Octavio's confidence in defeating Ko. However, due to his preoccupation with his daughter's birthday, Octavio was on the verge of losing his temper with Ko before the intervention of onlookers. Upon reaching the locker room, Octavio took a moment to assess his condition before heading into the match. Suddenly, his phone rang, and it was Mina, his ex-wife, inquiring about the status of his fight. Octavio informed her that his fight had been delayed by 3 hours, and he would be stepping into the ring in 15 minutes. Mina became angry, questioning why he had assured their daughter that he would not attend her birthday celebration. They had previously arranged, 3 months ago, that Octavio would visit before 5 p.m. Even Leone spent the entire day deep in thought and declined to eat as she anticipated her father's arrival for her birthday cake. Octavio was furious about the situation as he had been looking forward to being with his daughter on her birthday. However, due to the match delay, his plans to celebrate with her had unraveled. Paul, who was present, tried to appease him, but Octavio knew he had to focus on the fight. With financial pressures mounting from overdue bills at the boxing gym, Paul blamed Ko for the inconvenience, hinting that he may have orchestrated the delay to 5 p.m. filled with rage. Octavio was determined to swiftly defeat Ko in the ring. But just as he was preparing to enter the arena, he received a call from David, Mina's husband, revealing that Mina intended to seek sole custody through legal channels. Octavio needed to grasp the possible factors jeopardizing his custody rights and prepare to receive the legal notice the following afternoon. Saddened by the news, Octavio felt strongly about his rights and responsibilities as a father. Mina objected to the remarks, highlighting how Octavio had been absent from Leone's life for 7 years, leaving her to care for their daughter alone. Despite this, they granted Octavio until 6 p.m. to arrive. If he failed to show up by then, it was agreed that he would lose all access to his daughter. Fearing the permanent loss of his child, Octavio chose to depart before his scheduled fight with Ko. Paul tried to dissuade him, warning of potential long-term consequences such as a ban from boxing, but Octavio disregarded these concerns. At that moment, seeing his daughter before 6 p.m. was the utmost priority in his life. Time was running out for Octavio to reunite with his daughter. As Octavio exited the arena, he encountered Rico, a dedicated fan who often placed bets on Octavio's matches and profited from them. Despite Rico's enthusiasm, Octavio requested to be left alone as he was in a rush to leave. With only an hour left to see his daughter, Octavio was on a tight schedule. At the arena exit, Winkler and Chino intervened, attempting to detain Octavio to prevent his departure. They quickly mobilized their men to apprehend Octavio before he could escape. Spotting a nearby taxi with a driver sporting a forehead injury, Octavio hopped in and instructed the driver to hurry to Max Burger to collect the birthday cake he had ordered for his daughter. However, their journey was obstructed by a gathering along the shortcut route to the bakery. Sensing danger as Winkler's men closed in, Octavio made a split-second decision to flee on foot. Despite his efforts to evade capture, Chino, Winkler, and their men managed to locate and corner him. But Octavio didn't back down and instead engaged in a struggle against his pursuers. Sensing that Octavio was not an easy opponent, Winkler decided to release him and called for additional backup to converge on their location. Meanwhile, Octavio's parents reached out to him, questioning why Mina had prevented them from seeing their granddaughter, as all they wanted was to celebrate her birthday together. Octavio assured his parents that it was just a minor disagreement with Mina and that he would resolve the issue soon. He then contacted Paul to inquire about Chino's identity. Paul revealed that Chino, along with Winkler and others, had placed substantial bets on Octavio. The more troubling revelation was that the upcoming bout between Octavio and Ko had been orchestrated by them. Chino had bribed Ko to lose in the third round, but Octavio managed to avoid disqualification and turn the situation around. Octavio mentioned that he had dealt with some of Chino's associates who were trailing him. His priority now was reaching Leon, realizing he had only 50 minutes left to do so. Shortly after, some of Winkler's henchmen showed up and began pursuing Octavio. He evaded their chase until reaching the boxing gym, where he encountered Kosa waiting for him. Seeking reinforcements, Octavio contacted Bruno and Anika, both sparring partners, who were present at the gym, to join the confrontation against Winkler's group in a 4-on-4 clash. Following the scuffle, Octavio attempted to make his way out and instructed Kima to detain them, explaining that he needed to see Leonie urgently. Octavio revealed that Mina was trying to separate him from their daughter. Octavio also requested her assistance in picking up the pie he had ordered from Max Burger and delivering it to Leonie's place, while he hurried to Mina's residence. Winkler resorted to firing his gun in an attempt to halt the fighting, but by then Octavio had already left, prompting Winkler to depart in search of Octavio's whereabouts. Despite Winkler's men's efforts to locate him, Octavio, upon spotting a patrol car nearby, hatched a plan. Octavio decided to provoke the police officer, leading to his arrest and transportation to the nearest police station. Unbeknownst to the authorities, Octavio had orchestrated this arrest as a ploy to secure a ride to Mina's home. However, on the way to the police station, a car unexpectedly collided with the police vehicle, and the driver turned out to be Winkler. Winkler attempted to remove Octavio from the scene, but Octavio, still possessing enough strength to resist, fought back by trying to seize Winkler's gun. Octavio also made a run for it, once he saw that the two policemen in the car were unharmed, prompting Winkler to do the same. As Octavio made his escape, Paul contacted him to inquire about the situation. This was due to Anika being hospitalized with a broken bone and Bruno sustaining injuries. Paul also mentioned that Chino had reached out, stating he wouldn't take any action if Octavio wanted to resume the conflict. However, Octavio disregarded Chino's words, as his main focus was the limited time he had left, which was now down to 42 minutes. Upon reaching the bakery to settle payment for the tart he had ordered, Octavio discovered that the bread he had entrusted Kima to collect had not been paid for. Sadly, Kima did not have the funds to cover the cost of the birthday cake. Out of the blue, Winkler appeared on the scene. He offered Octavio another opportunity to comply and return to confront Bino. However, Winkler's error was destroying the birthday cake Octavio had painstakingly ordered for his daughter. Infuriated, Octavio unleashed his anger on Winkler, attacking him recklessly. Had Kosa not intervened to restrain Octavio, Winkler might have met a fatal end at the hands of the enraged Octavio. Upon escaping the situation, Octavio encountered Ko, who had also shown up and attempted to apprehend him. As Octavio kept evading Bino, Rico coincidentally rode by on his motorcycle and endeavored to assist Octavio in evading Ko. Subsequently, Octavio requested Rico to transport him to a subway station so he could swiftly make his way to Mina's residence. Octavio received a message from Paul informing him that he had been eliminated from the competition. Not only had Chino's money disappeared, but Bino's as well, as they had both bet on Octavio winning. They congregated at a spot close to the train station, where Rico attempted to make amends with Octavio and urged him to comply with the demands of those trying to detain him. Various individuals gathered to see Octavio at that location. A female leader named Danica from Serbia inquired about Octavio's affiliation. Octavio was perplexed by Danica's question, as he was independent and did not work for anyone. Danica questioned his connection to Chino, and why he had not participated in the fight. Octavio clarified that he had left to meet his daughter, whom his ex-wife would have taken away if he did not arrive by 6 p.m. Subsequently, Danica instructed her associates to contact Chino and inquire about the $500,000 owed to Octavio for winning the bet. If Chino did not promptly provide the funds, repercussions would follow, including arranging a funeral for him and his brother. Some of Danica's associates remained to monitor him, but Octavio attempted to flee from the premises. He made his way toward the nearby train station. Once aboard the train, Octavio sought assistance from fellow passengers to free himself from his restraints. While on the train, he observed a news report regarding the search for the hammer car that had collided with the police car in which he was a passenger. Octavio was utterly drained by the series of events that had unfolded, leading him to doze off during the train journey. He awoke as the train reached its final stop. However, he was taken aback to discover that Ko had managed to track his whereabouts. Octavio once again sprinted away from Ko and his companions until he reached a bar located not far from the train station. Bino and some of his followers attempted to assault Octavio. One of his associates managed to stab Octavio in the abdomen. Wounded from the attack, Octavio fought back against Bino, reminiscent of their unfinished match in the arena. After a strenuous battle, Octavio emerged victorious over Bino. As he exited the club, Octavio unexpectedly encountered Paul's presence. Octavio suddenly understood that his pursuers could track his movements because when in the changing room, Paul had activated the GPS on his watch, linked to Paul's phone. Paul expressed regret for his actions, explaining that he had felt compelled to assist them. However, when the situation escalated to attacks and threats against Octavio, Paul recognized that things had spiraled out of control. Octavio dismissed Paul's presence and insisted that he leave immediately, threatening to deal with Paul by himself if he did not go. Octavio then visited his parents' home to tend to the injuries sustained in the fight. His parents were taken aback by their son's condition, but Octavio assured them not to be concerned about him. Meanwhile, Paul reached out to Octavio, expressing a desire to make amends and rectify his mistakes. It was revealed that Paul had orchestrated the previous fight to earn a significant sum of money to settle their debts. Initially indifferent to Paul's explanations, Octavio agreed to meet him later when he went to the animal shelter to pick up a surprise pet for his daughter. However, Octavio grew concerned for Paul's safety on his way to the shelter. In another development, Octavio contacted Rico and disclosed that he had information on Chino's whereabouts. Rico's group intended to track down Chino to claim their winnings. Octavio planned to share his location once he arrived at the animal shelter. In the end, Octavio made his way to the animal shelter to collect the cat he had ordered. Octavio contacted the authorities and informed them about the location of the individual responsible for the hit-and-run incident involving a police car. Concerned about the dangerous nature of these individuals and their arsenal of weapons, Octavio requested the presence of the SWAT team along with the police. Shortly after, Paul and some of Chino's associates arrived at the scene. Knowing Octavio's whereabouts, Chino demanded his surrender due to the chaos they had caused. Danica, pursuing Chino for their outstanding bet money, joined the confrontation. Unexpectedly, Danica's men appeared and initiated gunfire, prompting Chino to usher both Paul and Octavio into a nearby vacant building. Soon after, the police, summoned by Octavio, arrived at the location. Chino, infuriated by his financial losses, resorted to violence by shooting Paul in the leg and shoulder. Just as Chino aimed to harm Octavio, Kima intervened, attempting to shield Octavio. Despite their efforts to subdue Chino, he displayed resilience and determination to withstand their interventions. Despite witnessing his friend Kosa falling, Octavio was infuriated and started assaulting Paul. However, Chino managed to endure Octavio's attacks once again. When Chino attempted to strike the weakened Octavio, Kosa, still alive, intervened. Chino's resilience was remarkable, surviving attacks and almost fatally injuring Kuma with a wooden block. Before Chino could harm Kuma further, Paul intervened, brandishing a firearm, prompting Chino to flee the scene. As the story approached its conclusion, on his way to Mina's house, Octavio coincidentally encountered Chino. Initially appearing ready to attack, Chino suddenly collapsed in front of Octavio, completely drained. Octavio eventually reached Mina's house, though he stumbled due to exhaustion from the tumultuous events. Leone, overjoyed to see her father, embraced him tightly as they reunited on the street. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Take care.